lot of questions on this one, so we're gonna break it down a little bit. Let's take a closer look at Mrs. Dunbar. How did the townsfolk react to her participation in the lottery? How did they react to her drawing for her family? Ingrid?
So, like, they really seemed like weird because she was like,
Yeah, yeah. So how are they acting weird about it? What were they asking her? What's some of the questions?
they were like asking her why she was the one.
And do you remember why?
Because, well, her husband couldn't.
Anyone want to help her out? What was up with her husband? Broke leg. And the son?
And he was too young.
Too young. Wasn't old enough yet. So it's up to her now, the wife, to pick. So, how did they react to the Watson boy drawing for his mother? Now this one's maybe a little bit more vague. This is on page 2, if you don't remember. On the back of page 2, a little bit after the 15. Right after Miss Dunbar says she's gonna pick. It says, a tall boy in the crowd raised his hand here. He said, oh sorry. Then he asked, Watson boy drawn this year? A tall boy in the crowd raised his hand. Here, he said, I'm drawn from the mother and me. He blinked his eyes nervously and ducked his head, and several voices in the crowd said things like, good fellow, Jack, and glad to see your mother's got a man to do it. So, how do you think they react to the Watson boy drawing for his mother? Emily?
They like that he's drawing for his mother. You like that it's like a guy doing it instead of a girl.
Right, right. And how do you think, going off of that, how do you think gender roles play a part in the village lottery?
And then have more power.
Men have more power than women? Anyone else? What are the roles of the individual family members? Like, think about it like that. Ingrid?
The reality of the was supposed to be.
Yeah, the men are the heads of the household, and then who's next in line if they're not able to? Think about that. The son. So, do we think that it's important to have a son in the family? Okay. Why do you think it's important to the town that the man of the household participates for his family in the lottery? Remember, think about the time that this is published. This was published in 1948. This is probably, the setting of this is probably a little bit back further, since it's talking about the establishment of a town and a village. So it's probably even dated back further than that. Why do you think it's important that the man participates? And you?
Maybe because the man is like supposed to be like the supporter of the house, like he's supposed to provide for the house, like they wouldn't want a woman to like this. But so like she could pick it and then like she's the reason why they got it and like they don't want a little bit of like she would not have power over the household.
So we kind of see even more tradition playing a part into this right here. More traditional values that were held before, and we also have the theme of the tradition with actual lottery too. So let's move on to the opinion-based questions real quick. So these opinion-based questions are opinion-based. You don't have to cite evidence from the text, but you absolutely can. You can use personal evidence too if you want to. So, question number 1. Are you surprised that everyone in the town goes along with the lottery? Why or why not? Emily?
It's not surprising at all. It makes a lot of sense.
Why? How does it make sense?
They've grown up here.
Okay.
So they were taught from a young age to do it. So they have no reason not to, as they don't think about something else.
Even though they're killing someone, they're just like desensitized to it
They were
almost?
taught it was acceptable when they were young.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that it might not be acceptable in this context isn't even there.
Right. Okay. Floor?
I'm also trying to thought, I'm so sorry.
Can you do the question again?
Yeah, question again was, are you surprised that everyone in the town goes along with the lottery?
No, it's not surprising. Like she said, it is a tradition of theirs, and even though they are doing something not bad, but like bad, but
Yeah.
I feel like it's just something that they all grown up to do, and especially little kids are gonna also do it, so they're kind of like, okay.
Right. So we got this idea of desensitization. I can't say the word. They're desensitized to it.
Yeah.
Jonathan?
So at first, like at the end, when they killed her, that like surprised I was like, it's new tradition, so okay.
Right. Right. Has anyone seen Midsommar? No? Okay, there's some similar themes in that. I won't bring it up if no one's seen it before, but, similar themes in that. They have traditions in there where they also kill people, but it's their tradition, so everybody's kind of okay with it. Also desensitized to it as well. Okay, part A of that question. Do you think that the townspeople are influenced by the actions of those around them? We kind of answered this a little bit. What do you think they are? India?
I do, because if, like, they didn't grow up doing it, they would have never thought of, like, killing somebody for tradition.
We hope, yeah.
Well, and that, like, their parents, like, the people around them, influenced them to, like, start this, because it was, like, they said it was, like, tradition for, like, forever. Okay.
Right. So, we're thinking that, yes, they are influenced by the people, the actions of those around them. Do you think that they can think for themselves? Does anyone think that? Maybe they just think for themselves and try to challenge it? Katrina? You don't think that they can think for themselves? They're so desensitized to it, you think?
Yeah, since like it's been going on for so long, I don't think they know how to use the brain.
Okay, I gotcha. Floor?
That was my thing. Like, I wonder if anyone ever was like, do I have to do this? Like, I was wondering, like, did they have to do it? Like, did everybody have to do it? Because it is a tradition, but like, do they really have to do it?
That is the question. Do they really have to do it? So if you remember in the text, there's a part where Old Man Warner's going on that rant. Remember, it's on the page right after, so you can flip over. Around 30, it says, they do say, Mr. Adams said, and Old Man Warner's stood next to him, that over in the North Village, they're talking of giving up the lottery. So we see that people have already started to quit the lottery.
Yeah.
In some places, have already quit the lotteries, Miss Adams said. So the Adams are talking about the possibility of quitting the lottery. But Old Man Warner is just adamant, no, after young fools and stuff like that. So let's go on to question number 2 real quick. If Miss Hutchinson wasn't picked, would she still have participated in the stoning, or not? Dorian?
If she wasn't picked, yes, she would volunteer. She would be participating in the stoning.
What makes you think that she was?
Because like before she got picked, she was chilling. Like she wasn't. You see?
No, that's absolutely right. She was chilling. She was having a good time, wasn't
Exactly.
she?
So
Joking
like,
around.
as soon as she get picked, then it's like a problem. But if somebody else got picked, I believe she would be in the stoning.
Okay, right. Laura, were you just gonna say the same thing? I thought you did, maybe.
Okay.
Or was it India? Sorry, I read it wrong. Same thing though?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Hold up, stop. We're gonna answer the last question real quick too. Okay, do you think that, sorry, did that give anyone else anxiety hearing that? Freaks me out. That's my alarm clock in the morning and it still doesn't wake me up. But last question, here we go. Do you think the townspeople will ever stop doing the lottery? Or not? Lord. Whoa, we got a lot. Here we go. You know what, actually I'm gonna, Daenerys, I haven't heard you speak yet. And then
I
what do you
say
think?
no, because they grew up doing it, so they're just gonna keep going.
Okay. I like that. Here, hold up. I think Floor is actually on right now.
I say no, they're not, but I hope so. I hope they, like, you know, like every other time they decide to stop doing it,
Right.
but what it seems like when, how it ended, no, because, I don't know.
Right, they just keep going on
It's
with
a
it.
tradition of theirs, it's kind of,
Zacchaeus?
I say no, because they grew up doing it, that's what they go through.
Okay, so I hear a lot of no's. Valeria?
I say no, but only because it's a tradition that has been passed down, and I feel like they should just continue to do it. Although it has like a rough, like, you know, it has a rough story,
Right.
killing, dying, whatever.
Right.
You don't want to be chosen or anything. It's gonna happen eventually. It's a tradition. You have to keep going.
So you think they should keep going with the lottery?
I mean, yeah. I'm sorry. They should keep going. So.
That's a take on it. Anyone else agree with her?
Yeah, I mean, they should keep going because, well, I go by, like, keep it going, you know.
Yeah.
It's like, something's gonna happen eventually, you're gonna die, you know, like, nobody knows what's gonna happen the next day. So
Alright.
tomorrow something can happen, you won't know.
Right, so you're saying that everyone dies eventually already.
Yes,
So,
so,
we're just making it happen sooner rather than later.
exactly,
Okay.
yeah.
That's a take on it, that's a take on it. I haven't heard it yet. Alright, Emily, real quick.
I would say that eventually, like, they probably will stop, but it would take multiple centuries or like generations for it to happen.
Right.
Because right now, like, Owen Warner, he's the one that's like very strong. Yes, it should happen. He's the one that's forcing it more than anyone else.
Maybe when
He's
he dies.
old, so he's gonna die. I mean, like, there's still gonna be a little time period where it's, yeah, they're still living by that idea that it should happen. But then it's gonna be new generations are taught less of that and then question it more to the point where everyone questions it and then they stop doing it.
Right.
So even if it takes a while, it will eventually happen.
Okay, so it's gonna be a process. I got you. Miles? Same thing? Process? Katrina?
I think my mom was she, you know, I think they find it girls in their lives, they don't wanna like die soon. You know, so they're probably gonna start to do like,
Right. If we think about it generational wise, and we'll end on this, if we think about it generational wise, we see that the oldest is the biggest proponent of it, the biggest supporter of it. Some of the adults are kind of thinking about quitting it, and some of them still support it. And then we get to the younger age, like the kids and stuff, like even when they realize they're not the one picked by the lottery, they're happy about it. And some of Nancy's friends say, I really hope it isn't Nancy. But we also see them trained at a young age, time to gather stones, we're about to do the lottery. So, think about that too. But good discussion today, really good, loved it. Go ahead.